Yo, it's the art of the deal. I'm here to reveal thick bass, rumbling truth. I unseal government lock. They playing games with the block. Democrats in the kitchen, stirring the pot. Shut down like a factory. Gears ain't turning. Pelosi's got the script, but the page is burning. Insider moves, stock tips churning. Husband in the shadows, profits confirming. Running the clock, but the clock don't tick. Filibuster funk, they tricks too slick. Caught in the act, receipts don't miss. Paper trails longer than the grocery list. Shut down, showdown. They can't keep the crown. Insider trades got the streets breaking down. Shut down, showdown.
All right, folks, we have to have an emergency stream today. We got some crazy stuff on the docket here. Absolute chaos. Good morning, everybody. Josh, Stacy, Shake and Bake, Green Day Profits. Holy God. All right, so we got a little bit of price problems, but I think we got bigger potential problems. Thanks for shouting out the intro song. I actually made that on Suede AI. I bought that song. I created that song with Solana. Imagine that. So, yeah, I'm getting after it, you guys. It's not necessarily that the world at large is ready to blow up, but there is a massive solar storm that's been happening for a few weeks that is likely going to cause some disruption to communication systems, radio systems, everything that involves radio frequencies. But this situation does have a potential for grid down scenario. Hence the title, The Chaos. Yes, we're going to look at our bags. Honestly, my bags are feeling pretty damn good this morning. I'm feeling frisky. Got Aerodrome. $1.20 just about. Marinade on a 17% pump this week. Linnea, even with all the BS going on in the market's up 5%. You know, it feels good when we're looking down the right angles, the right highways here, folks, because there's so much garbage in crypto to fall into. So if you can do me a favor, follow me on X at Druth Crypto. Okay, I work really, really hard for you guys. And good morning, everyone. I haven't even had time to look at longers or shorts, but I'm going to get back into it. But stop feeling your bags. I got to feel my bags. Crypto Crank, yeah, just a basement live early. This is where we talk about potentially dangerous subject matter here. But looking forward to your TA later on today on Discover Crypto as well. Good morning, Shake and Bake. Yeah, this is just a wild, wild day. And yes, I'm still having a later show. Bitcoin's trying to take off. It's not going so great. It kind of feels like this, all right? Feeling a little thick. Feeling like we might need a little bit more juice on the wings of Bitcoin as we crash into a flat line here. Really not too exciting for me, but it's scaring the hell out of the rest of the markets here. We're coming down to about $101,600. You know what? Fine. Send it. I got a bunch of Tether that I've been printing through trading. Send it lower. I don't care. The altcoins are doing fine. And honestly, there's some massive upgrades, and a video I'm putting out on Discover Crypto tonight kind of explains the longer term thesis of Base Network. It involves JP Morgan, some tiny bank that you probably haven't heard of. But I want to ask you this. Like, right, we're watching this stupid price action here. This is a good question from Sin City. How often do you evaluate your portfolio? Let me know. I want to know. Is it never? Is it monthly? Is it quarterly? Or is it annually? Now, I selected quarterly just because that's the other option. But honestly, I do it daily, hourly, minutely, right? I am always looking at the portfolio, making sure that it's doing right. If I feel something is not performing correctly, I cheat it, right? It doesn't go well. Basement only. Also, Kryptoni, if you want to buy our ASIC Caspa miner, we got one. I think we paid like 10 grand, maybe 12 grand for it. We're selling that thing. So if you want the Caspa miner, hit me up. I'll give you a hell of a deal on it. Now, the odds of Missouri not going to live here anymore, being deported this year have doubled on Polymarket. Could we see the new mayor of New York City deported by Donald J. Trump?
You're out of here. You're not even a citizen. You're not a mayor. You're nothing. Get out of this.
I would love to see it. God, I love all the salt. Petro, let me know which coin you top blasted and how hard you top blasted it, baby. I want to know, right? I want to know. Now, also on Polymarket, the odds of on Polymarket that Bitcoin hits $1 million before Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out is now showing around 49%, with almost $2 million in bets placed. You know what I know is that Bitcoin's going to $1 million. That's why I love seeing at cheaper prices for Bitcoin. If we are so blessed that the 4-year cycle and the Chinese whales are able to dump this market back down and give me those old market highs, somewhere around $60,000 or $70,000, I have plenty of capital ready to deploy for that such situation. You want to go into the boring tunnel? Oh, Lord. I love this chat. Yes, Philip, I am indeed. I'm bringing back the Roaring 20s, and I always have a holster on, but it's a side. Okay, so you get more mags, okay? More mags. You get all kinds of mags. Even if you have the belt set up as well, it's juicy, I mean, who doesn't want like 60 or 70 rounds on them at all times? Get real. Now, John Gillian, I'm telling you guys right now, you really should follow John for some reason I can't get into really right now. But we're going to look at this. So John talks about, and he's Bitcoin Jesus ETH on Twitter. Look, either we yeet into Valhalla before Christmas or Santa pukes in your stockings and you get a chance to stack Bitcoin below $100,000 again, right? Either way, you cannot dispute the fact that there's a giant green arrow on this chart. Thank you for the attention to this matter. Now, if Santa does indeed decide to puke into our stockings, make sure that stocking is handmade here in America by my wife. Okay, we are selling stockings right now. I still have the contest going for who, if you go to at Miss Tia Marie, okay, at Miss Tia Marie, I'll drop this in the chat here so you guys can have it. Go to her account and retweet. I am choosing one of the retweets. There's only 24 retweets so far. I'm choosing one of these retweets that we're going to send these handmade stockings to for free this holiday season. But it makes a perfect place to put an Arculus cold storage device in. Get your drunk uncle off of banks, off of exchanges. Get him in an Arculus cold storage device and put that thing in a handmade stocking. I got a link down in the description. You know how we do. Support local small businesses, handmade goods. I love you, Tia. Good job on it. I absolutely love seeing her out there making these stockings. It makes my heart swell. And we built the studio out of ICP profits. I think we're one of the few out there that actually made it out of the ICP pump of yesteryear with some good profits. Now, John, another highlight from him. He's retweeting Watcher Guru's former BlackRock executive saying Ethereum is the infrastructure for Wall Street. Interesting. Interesting that they should post this and then you repost it, John. They're not talking about me, but they could be. I had to troll him. Shout out to you, dude. He's over there at Milky Road. He's a good guy. Did Isaac tough the stockings? Faraday bags? I like Faraday bags. I do like Faraday bags. Yeah, Tech, if you want free merch, go retweet my wife's tweet there, man. Just back up and check it out. I really do implore you guys. It helps my family out greatly. And we are a small local business, man. Like, this is something where everyone, they complain about China taking over. They complain about all this shit, but they never actually take any action to change it, right? And that's the most annoying kind of person out there. It's the bear market, but I'm holding spot and I won't short. But I'm come in here and complain about the bull market. The worst kind of person out there. Short it, sell it. If you feel that way, follow through, right? Now, here it is. Coinbase Duck, Quant from Coinbase, talking about the Circle confirmation that they are looking at an ARC token for their native stablecoin chain. Guess where it's coming out of, though? The Coinbase Launchpad. Where does the Coinbase Launchpad experience most of its liquidity, most of its swaps from, right? We've been on this for so long, it hurts to win this much. It hurts to win this much. And yes, I'm going to have a deeper dive on this coming out on the Discover Crypto channel tonight at 7 p.m. But it is bull season for base, right? Arrow, Morpho, and Zora hitting all-time high transactional levels. You know I'm in on all three of these things. I got to go check in on my Zora account. I do think that they actually rolled out live streaming as well on Zora, but they've made some like guardrails in place where have to qualify or something. I just haven't had chance or, the time to do it, but I do plan on going live on Zora. Let's see here. I forgot to check out your trades. Crypto Crank. If you're not in our Discord following Crank, he is a top tier trader. Absolutely. And we got another insanely, it's like an 80% hit rate Chinese quant coming in there. It's going to get chaotic in the trading section. So make sure you're part of the Discord, getting those trades in. Don't be, you know what? I've heard so many people complain about how hard it is to trade. You just have to use discipline, use stop losses. Go with your gut, use the right analysis, right? That I came out very well on top, even with so many expert traders seemingly falling off the wagon and giving up. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Now, Bitwise Chainlink ETF advanced to the DTCC listing approval. Big if true, and it does look like it's true, but some of the OGs knew all along about Chainlink. Now, this is a great conversation talking about the Oracle wars, and this is worth a listen. Let's have it.
In that, Jeff, I want to ask you about some of the stumbling blocks to the adoption of blockchain technology and it getting mature as well. What do you see as some of those roadblocks potentially?
Well, I think it first starts with the definition. I think everybody back in the .com days,
that's a good point.
Everybody in the .com days created www.something.com. Now everything is something.blockchain. And you have to understand, I view it's open decentralized systems. There is not a single industry-wide open decentralized system yet. That's what we mean by open decentralized. You have lots of great centralized tech, but you do not have open decentralized tech yet. We do not see that. So when you start to understand that there is not a single pan-industry platform that exists today in blockchain as an open decentralized tech, now you have a definition you can work with. So why don't you have that? Well, the reason for it is decentralized tech needs to solve a problem that centralized tech can't solve. And one of the problems you see is probably trust, right? So what industries are reluctant to do is kingmake a startup. So if I want to create a real estate company that disrupts the real estate market from the idea of selling something to the buyers and all the way through that value chain, there's no way anyone in the real estate industry is going to give one startup all that power. But they would if it was an open decentralized system that no one owns. And so you have to start with that definition. Then you have to understand that we're talking about the protocol layer. That's like the database, right? Then you need the middleware. We're focused on investing in the middleware outside of some databases because there is no infrastructure in there to make this. And then you can get to the app layer. I think over the years, or the last couple of years, we see a lot of people focused on the app layer,
right?
But there's no infrastructure there yet. And I think that's a huge problem. And that's where we're putting a lot of capital.
It's been pretty obvious for a long time. I think of the building out of Web3, like from Web2, where we're at right now, as a construction project, and Chainlink being the intermediary, the data oracle, the transfer network of that information from one spot to the next made more sense to me than anything else in crypto, hence why I hammered into it. But I did add and decided to get a position on Linnea because Linnea is a layer 2 Ethereum project, very new, and it's the only other thing that's hard-sidedly working with Swift. And now as things sit, Chainlink secured Swift, MasterCard, UBS, DTCC, Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, 11,500 banks getting on-chain access, and this all is kicking off on November 22nd. Pretty disgusting amount of activity is about to come, and I am going to go into very specific detail on the mathematics on how Chainlink actually can breach $1,000 per token from these activations going live over the course of the next few years and give specific time expectations of when this can happen today at 2 p.m. on the Discover Crypto channel as well. But now let's talk about the crazy stuff. Let's talk about the massive solar impact that's going on right now. When does it go live? November 22nd, David. November 22nd. So, ooh, silver's pumping. Ooh, Jason Casper's chicken. What is up, baby? Good to see you. False hope, no hope. Still good to see you, though. You might want to take some uppers or something. Now let's go here. Let's check this out. Oh, God. Oh, my God. If you had your portfolio in ADA, you don't have to pay any taxes either. Ooh. It's true. It's true. It's God. All right. RIP. If I had some liquor, I'd pour it out. Okay. If I had some liquor, hold on. You know, because Cardano is the most decentralized proof of stake system on the planet with the Constitution and everything, but the price just, they said. So I'm going to pour some out into my coffee mug here. And I know it's Black Rifle Coffee Company. My wife bought them for me. I got to go through them. My damn mini fridge is full of these things, so I got to go run through them. But we got a solar flare to talk about here, folks. Okay? Maybe I'll start talking about SNAP benefits. Oh, Lord. If you hold your portfolio in ADA, you're eligible for SNAP benefits. Bro. All right, hold on. We got to be serious. This is a serious show. All right. Massive solar impact immediately sent Earth's magnetic field into pure chaos. This is absolutely insane. Now watch this. This is Geospace Delta B, and this is overnight. Things are definitely heating up. Look at the amount of magnetic activity in our field that kicked up overnight. This is the hence for the concern, right? This is hence for why I'm watching out for this. Kind of looks like a little bit of a problem. Now it's a G5 storm they're classifying as of right now. G4 storms kind of mess with radio systems. G5 gets to the point where you might be actually disrupting them. And then things get really, really crazy. The reason why, the potential of this is real is the United States and really the world at large did experience a Carrington event that fried circuits, started buildings on fire, and lit telegraph lines on fire as well. The great geomagnetic storm of August 28th through September 3rd in 1859, arguably the greatest and most famous space weather event in the last 200 years. For the first time, observations showed that the sun and aurora were connected to the auroras, generating strong ionospheric currents, right? Everyone is looking at the sky last night. Whoa, I can see the aurora borealis. This is so beautiful as they sip their tea, but there is something very sinister behind that borealis. And now we are getting an update from NOAA on this situation, which is absolutely worth a listen. This is a recorded update from the current geomagnetic storm ongoing at the time we anticipated yet to come. And let's have a listen to the experts in this field.
Good evening. I'm Sean Dahl, and I'm the Space Weather Prediction Service Coordinator here in Boulder, Colorado. Well, we've had activity tonight. A lot of geomagnetic storm activity.
I can barely hear him.
Storm is a significant...
One in chat if the sound's working.
It's basically a magnetic storm. And what happens when those occur is we can see things like the northern
Two if
lights
it's
spin
not.
up from time to time. But the main focus is what these can do for impacts. But before I get into that, let's talk about what's actually going on right now. We have already had 2 of 3 anticipated coronal mass ejections.
So there's 2, now 3 massive coronal mass ejections.
Is a blast of solar material, charged particles, and a very strong localized magnetic field that stretches out into space from the sun. As I said, 2 of these have already arrived, and they packed quite a punch. We've already reached G4 severe level conditions due to those CME arrivals. We still don't believe that the 3rd CME has arrived yet. We're looking for that midday on the 12th of November, so Wednesday, somewhere around noonish time frame, give or take Eastern time. Could be earlier, could be later. But we don't think that that's arrived yet. But this batch of CMEs that did come in, these 2, were profoundly more stronger than we anticipated. We did have a G2 to G3 level watch out, and we've already reached G4 levels. We do have a G4 watch out for the 12th of November, and that activity is already happening with these first CMEs. So what are we still looking for? That a third of third of the 3 CMEs to come in, and that was the most energetic and strongest of this activity out there in space. It was traveling significantly faster than these other two, and we think that's going to pack even a stronger punch than what we've already experienced. So into the overnight hours tonight, we do expect anywhere from G1 through G4 levels to continue. These types of storms can be very variable. There's a lot of dynamics that go on with them, and essentially we have to have the magnetic field of the CME that's passing over Earth be opposite Earth's magnetic field. That's been happening so far this evening, but it can easily turn the other direction and help activity come back down. It can be this way throughout the night, and even with the next CME, we don't know what to anticipate until it arrives at these critical solar wind observatories that we have 1 million miles from Earth. You may have heard of Swiffle L1, the space weather follow-on mission. That's one that's currently en route to replace these old solar wind spacecraft. But what we have out there now has been doing a good enough job to help us figure out what's going to happen here at Earth.
Okay, so at noon today, it sounds like the big chunk of these 3 coronal mass ejections is going to be hitting Earth. Now, we have very heightened geomagnetic activity going on right now. I had Kelly kind of do a deep dive and put this information into Grok Heavy on expert mode to get just an outlook of potential impacts on the power grid. Let's pull here. Let's go full screen. Let's just go full screen with it. This is the basement. We can do what we want. All right. Massive solar flare could disrupt telecommunications today. Potential impact on the U.S. power grid. Today's cosmic activities carries a real but limited potential to disrupt the U.S. power grid, primarily through magnetically induced currents, GICs. These currents are generated when charged particles from a coronal mass ejection interact with Earth's magnetosphere, inducing voltage fluctuations in long transmission lines. For a G4 level storm, this possibly affects the power grid fluctuations, voltage alarms, transformers overheating. The likelihood of a widespread crash is low. Historically, these G4 storms do not produce that flash. But what Noah was talking about is if things do change because there is a heightened reciprocity with the Earth in this geomagnetic storm and the polarization of it, that brings up extra variables. We also have 3i Atlas, whatever the hell that is, flying around. We have like 3 or 4 random asteroid things flying within our vicinity right now, causing a little bit of extra chaos. And someone brought up a really good point here. The sun has existed for billions of years. We've recorded it for about 150 years or so. We don't know anything about solar cycles, infantile knowledge. What we do know is that the electricity and the readings within our measurement devices that we have available right now are showing something that we rarely, if ever, have seen. So just take that for what it is worth. You know, I know that there is the idea that I'm sitting here up talking to people, be like, be afraid, run away. It's just about being knowledgeable about this stuff and not living in a place of fear, right? Don't live in a place of fear. Don't make decisions on a place of fear. God damn, this steak looks good. Hold on. I had to do it. Fuck. Live your life. Eat steak. Okay. Kind of shocked. AA hasn't been kicked out and returned to the show. I'm still waiting. Yeah, I just mukbanged, Jay. Okay, you caught me. I mukbanged. All right. You caught me. It's never too early for some steak. And I got some garlic broccoli here, right? Some garlic cheese broccoli, some steak. Oh, God. All right. Now let's keep reading through the rest of the news here. Just be careful. Things that you could do. Faraday bags will be useful, but think about it. If the entire telecommunication system gets truly zapped and disrupted, you know, there's going to be problems beyond that. It's more so about having a plan without the means of communication understood between your wife, your kids, right? Talk about these things and where you would go if this, then that. If your teacher's cell phone isn't working, you see cars crashing middle of the road, you see airplanes flying, now all of a sudden they're falling. That means that the grid has been zapped and you need to walk home immediately. You need to walk home, right? Set the plan up. Make if this, then that, clear understandings for your children and your wife so that if the grid does go down, they're not sitting there flopping and groping, wondering what the hell to do, right? Just live from a position of power. Bangarang. Yeah, this is a medium rare stake. I mean, I get medium rare. I would not love myself if I didn't. Fuck it. Medium rare, thick, 2-inch stakes. Thick. All right, now let's look at this other stuff. Let's look at this other stuff. So, Venezuela military is preparing guerrilla response in case of U.S. attacks. You're wasting your time. We'd likely attack you through clandestine operations. Your guerrilla tactics probably will mean very, very little if the U.S. does want to attack you. Mission failed successfully. Kim Jong-un bans suicide in the nation of those that attempt and fail. Unfortunately, the people that fail suicide will be executed. So this is huge. If you're living in North Korea, absolutely massive. Now, I know the charts are a little scary. People are like, oh my God, is it over with? Let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's go back to Bitcoin. We're at 1015. Here come the bears once again. Here come the bears once again. And, some conversations about this are going to look a lot like Jakey and his gal here. We're going to take a look at this because Jakey's one of my faves out there. Shout out to you, Jakey.
That's a huge red candle. It's massive.
Dude, it's huge.
That's pretty small.
It's pretty small.
Really? Like 3 inches.
Yeah, like really tiny.
Really small.
Actually, 3 inches can sometimes be considered above average in some places of the world. So
This mother.
okay.
This I absolutely applaud you, sir, for the content. Now, is 3 inches average? Chat. Is 3 inches actually average, or is that a psyop from Southeast Asia to make themselves feel more normal? We have some other models to look at for this coronal mass ejection. Earth's force field under attack. Now, this is highlighting the northern lights, the Aurora Borealis, basically being seen all the way down to Florida. Power grid, satellites, GPS may experience disruptions. This is the geospace magnosphere, the cut planes and pressure. Really, a lot of different models are showing some pretty questionable. Look at that. This is not normal. This is not normal. So we live in interesting times, but all right. So 4.5 was average many years ago. Genetics say 8. 3 inches, typically the type of length of red candle when I go long on Sol. That's fair. Give me a 3-inch candle anytime on my 72. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. It gets the job done. It gets the job done. All right, let's check out this. Byron Hardy. Shout out to you. Thank you for the $10 super chat. If you had 5 coins, not Bitcoin or Ethereum, that you had to hold for 5 years, which 5 would you choose? Well, let's hop on in there. So I like the risk to reward for Linnea. I like Aerodrome. I like Morpho. I like Chainlink. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got to choose one more. Solana. There it is. I would choose Solana, Chainlink, Morpho, Aerodrome, and Linnea. That's what I would do. And also, Crypto Stevo, I swear to God, there must be something going on with Georgia access on Kraken to that Canton token, because I came back on, it's kind of aggravating because Canton is kind of pumpy right now. This always happens to me. I cover something out before it happens, before it comes out. And then for whatever reason, I'm a good boy and I don't do any weird background dealings and shit like this. It's actually looking pretty pumpy here. Look at this thing. This one's very, very interesting. Canton might be lumped into that, but I got to get a little bit of exposure and I got to see how the price action goes first before I feel. I know it's on Kraken. I believe you. For some reason, my Kraken account is not getting it. For some reason, the Kraken account is not getting it. And the reason why, Byron, great question, by the way, but the reason why a lot of those are in the base network ecosystem is not just because of the volume and all the excitement. It's because the American empire of finance is going to refuse to lose to
China.
We are going to pull punches. We are going to beat up people in back alleys. We are going to stuff nerds into dumpsters to take control of the crypto infrastructure. It's just the way that America is. It is what it is, right? So with today's news, you know, I'm going to be watching price action. I might actually even open up some positions. I'm going to kind of pay attention to this pretty closely as we get ready for 2 o'clock show. And if I do take a trade, you guys will know it in the Discord. I also want to go check out Crypto Crank's trades in there. Our Chinese Crypto Quant is incoming as well. I'm watching out for those. And we're going to have Crypto Crank on at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to check out some scalp trade entry points, what he's looking at on the market. He's out there printing money all the damn time. I love and appreciate you, every single one of you out there. Make sure to stay based. Don't make decisions based on fear, because that's where you make massive mistakes. And until 2 p.m., I bid you adieu. Goodbye and
Yo, it's the art of the deal. I'm here to reveal thick bass, rumbling truth. I unseal government lock. They playing games for the block. Democrats in the kitchen, stirring the pot. Shut down like a factory. Gears ain't turning. Pelosi's got the script, but the page is burning. Insider moves, stock tips churning. Husband in the shadows, profits confirming. Running the clock, but the clock don't tick. Filibuster funk, they tricks too slick. Caught in the act, receipts don't miss. Paper trails longer than the grocery list. Shut down. They can't keep the crown. Insider trades got the streets breaking down. Shut down, showdown.